30 seconds until
Welcome,
minions spawn.
Bronze ADC players. I am your host,
Get up,
Katza,
stand firm, strike hard.
and I will be giving you some tips to playing the role in Bronze. So, first thing I'm going to do, of course, is watch for invades. I really like going in this rush here, even though they've seen me. Usually don't, because they saw me here, but usually they don't actually notice you, which is why it's a great rush to go in, because you can see them invading. If someone else doesn't go there, rather than just sitting here with, you know, all this blank, they could just be walking up here and invading, but there, get plenty of early warning and get out. So, okay, at least wait too long there. Normally you should do about 3 autos and then leave. Pretty much going to be leashing every game, which means you'll be late to lane, but that's what happens. So the first thing we want to try and do is get level 2 before the other team does, and then quickly fight them with the level advantage. So I'm just gonna be pushing pretty hard here. So we got it, there we go. So we don't get the kill, but this super, okay, we do get the kill. So as you can see, they're still level 1, and because of that we easily out-traded them. So you pretty much want to do that always if you can, and because you're playing in Bronze, mostly your opponents aren't going to be aware of it, or won't do it. So, might as well take a quick reset here, there's no reason to hang around. I'm just going to tell Thresh to back off. I didn't get the kill, but I still get enough to buy a couple of items, so it's worth resetting before. Thresh should have reset because he got the kill, but you know, you can't make them do what you want. All the time all you can do is ping and hope.
Down there, I was surrounded by nothing.
So next thing is we need to be trying to play around this guy. Sometimes it's really hard because they suck or have a completely different idea of what they're doing, but we've sort of do our best to try and play around what they're doing. It's the secret to winning lane. So we need to play around our support if possible. I don't want to fight in that minion wave, which is why I didn't engage there. One thing you need to respect is, especially in the early games, the minions do a lot of damage and you'll aggro them if you attack champions. So now this guy's on his own, we can push him up the wave. Thresh pushed it, unfortunately. I would have rather hold up back there. So that's the thing basically see in Bronze is almost no wave management whatsoever. It can be hard because like your support will often just push the wave. If they're playing a support that takes one of these minion executing items, they often will push when you don't want them to, but if you learn just some basic wave management, you'll be better than most Bronze lanes in the, what I see in the bot. Like, they pretty much will just push. Basically got 2 things, they're either pushing into the tower or they're hiding under theirs, and there's no other wave management between that. Not always the case, but like 90% of the time it's the case. So you can see she just pushed that for no reason. She should have held that there. If she had have held it there, we would have missed those minions.
Feed the beast,
So
albeit small.
I want to hold the wave here if possible. Just because it'll make the Nautilus have a horrible time. Can't hold
I
it.
came for the hunt, but I'll stay
but-
for the fruit.
Once we just sit here, we can. Thresh is, you know, being annoying, but we still managed to keep our minions back here, which makes it so that our Vi's got a better position to gank. Thresh again is pushing like crazy, so I could try pinging him to stop doing that. May or may not work, but I think the Seraphine went back, so no, she didn't. So yes, if we had held that there, which we could have done if the Thresh hadn't just been intent on constantly pushing like these Bronzes always are, it made it a lot harder for them to farm. The Vi would have been in the area. There's currently no reason for us to rotate to Dragon. Keep an eye on it though.
It's fight or flight. Only now I do not run.
So see, Vi's got no angle to attack here, so I'm just trying to push that wave so that it resets and we can. But they hold it there and don't freeze.
Exploit their weakness.
So they managed to hold it without crashing into the tower, which was good, but then they just deleted it instead of waiting for their minions to crash, and so the waves reset again, which is pretty much what I always see them do.
The hunting ground has changed, but the hunt is the same.
So if Thresh would just, like, you know, hold this for a second, I could rock up and get this XP. I would have lost nothing for my back. I lose, you know, 2 minions because he's impatient.
Exploit their mistakes.
I'm gonna try and tell him to stop. He's not gonna listen. Okay, whatever. It's making it hard than it needs to be. We could have held that wave up and we'd get a larger wave to crash into the tower and also deny them minions. But I'm not going to be able to. So what I want is for them to just push into us. But it's impossible because the Thresh just autos every time they come up, so essentially I have to, like, I've tried pinging him off the wave and I can bother typing to him. Typing's never really worth doing in these games. It's fine.
I was spared for you.
So she's gonna sit in that brush and try and zone me off the minions. Can potentially kill them from here. It's a bit risky though.
This skin lives on me.
Okay, so
and hunts with
see the minions crash here. So to hold the freeze, you just kill it when it's on the last bit of health. Fortunately, Thresh is here, but she's on her own. He should grab her, and then we ult him for the kill. So there was no reason for her to stay there after Nautilus went back. your support goes back, then you're kind of in a position where you need to as well, unless you're like, you know, really confident or ahead. Just want to get the plate. Okay. That's good enough. Take the reset. So I've not actually... Seraphine's gonna be back before we can kill him, I think. Yeah. That's what I expected to happen, but you know, sometimes you just gotta try for the play. If you just run away and let them die every time, then sometimes it's better to be wrong together than right on your own. Not gonna lose too much here, so it's not the worst. I mean, we'll lose some gold, but we'll keep most of the experience, which is the important thing. Got most of the gold anyway, actually.
An enemy has been slain.
Oops, loaded the wrong one.
Oh, trees. Gotcha.
Of course that hits me. Well,
Stay alert. Stay
Seraphine's a bit broken at the moment, but you know, she used everything, so dead now. This guy's also dead. Could have let me kill that thresh, but you know.
An enemy has been slain.
So we're not really getting to look at wave management much this game just because of how the Thresh is playing, but we'll look at it more in a few more games. I'll do a few games to go over the different situations.
For now,
So I should mention that I'm not an ADC main generally. I've mostly in the past mained jungle. And I've also not played in Bronze before this season, so...
this place is beautiful. I'm going to.
I am often a bit confused. Oops. Yeah. Didn't notice the avalanche showed up, which, you know, makes sense, given she's invisible. But looks like the buy cleans that up nicely, so getting the jungle fed is actually better than getting me fed, to be honest. Since I'd say most of the games I see, jungle gap decides a lot of the games. So if you can get your jungle ahead, then which we have 6 kills on our buy, there's a good chance that you'll win the game just off that.
I'm right here.
Don't really know why everyone's showed up, else because our tower's the only one that's still up.
I can make a difference.
This is her ult. I'm dumb. That's what I get for not pressing attack move. Thresh. So that's another thing as ADC which I'm not super still up on, even though I've practiced this a bunch before doing this, is you should always A-click when you're trying to attack, because if you right-click on something and you miss, you'll walk instead of attacking, whereas if you A-click, A-left-click, then you'll attack even if you screw up the positioning. So I probably would have killed Seraphine there if I had have used the A-click. But I still need to improve a bit more on ADC. The other thing, so one good way to learn to do it is just whenever you're fighting a minion, just always A-click them, and that'll get you into the mindset. That's how you attack. Just A-click everything when you want to attack. Also, recommend turning off auto attack in the settings. I really hate that setting for playing jungle because you generally want to generally you want to have your character keep attacking whilst you're looking at the map as jungle, but and if you have, if you turn auto attack off, then you can't look at the map and have your character keep attacking. They'll stop attacking all the time. It's really annoying, but playing ADC, definitely just turn it off because it'll help with your wave management for a start. You can also use stop command to stop attacking. I don't know, whichever works for you is fine, but then you have to keep pressing stop all the time between attacks. I prefer just to have it off. Don't know where that quad came from. I assume it was an airborne, but yeah, always A left click, A left click, A left click, get used to it. Turn off, if you're not doing it already, turn off your auto attack so that you can, so that one, you have to order your character to attack, and two, because it will just help you with wave management. And we'll go for the Seraphine here. Wow. That's no good, the whole team's there. Just wait for them to make a mistake, there's no need to force. Like if I had have gone in that fight there, sure I would have killed one, maybe if I didn't get CC'd, but I would have died for sure. It's better just to let the Thresh die, peel back, and wait for them to make a mistake, because they did, they split, and you cleaned them up. If they don't make a mistake, they will just run away and we lose the Thresh and nothing else, so kills really aren't that important. But if you die, then you can't do anything. Well, you did, obviously. Map pressures way more important. ignoring me here, so that's cool. Didn't need to kite at all, but I need to be ready to in case they... Okay, so pretty easy game so far. There's no point in going in for more than the inhibitor. Just... they're probably going to die for that. Better off peeling off and getting more towers. We're all alive again, so just back off.
I need to gather my strength.
So don't overextend when you're sieging the base. I mean, you probably can't stop your team doing it if they're going to do it, but just keep it in mind for yourself that it's not worth getting that one tower and then getting wiped, which I constantly see happen in these bronze games. Like I said, I've practiced a bunch on ADC to figure out how to play it, and I've seen them also figure out what people are doing in bronze wrong, so how they can climb out, and it's a bunch of really easy things I've seen that can easily correct and will greatly improve your win rate. Thanks, Thresh. Okay. I got hit by a bunch of ults there, so there was not a lot I could do, but doesn't really matter so long as, like, if they use, you know, 3 ults on me alone, then that's actually pretty good. As long as the rest of my team aren't completely useless, then they'd probably win that fight. Oh dear. I'm certainly not the best ADC, so I expect to see me hyper mega super carry the game on my own, but I understand fundamentals enough to play it without sucking. So the other thing you need to, if you want to climb, you need to pick 2 champions. No more than 2, and you need to play them. Well, she's flashing to me, somebody push her into me. I just need to religiously play your 2 champions. I sure like to use their ults on me. I'll just peel back, and they don't manage to kill us that time. No. So this game's over, but I'll play some more and go over more stuff. GG.